I am Lisa Price, the founder of Carol's Daughter, a pioneer in the natural hair care space. I've had this relationship with my hair where I use my hair to express different moods, different feelings. My hair was able to be rebellious when I was too shy to be rebellious. I was a very well-behaved teenager, a very well-behaved high school student, didn't talk back to people, but when I was 19 or 20, I wore braids, and that was in the 70s. My mom had curly hair when she let it be curly. When my mom and my dad divorced and my mom was out dating and being cute, she wore an afro. It's like one of my favorite images of my mom, thinking of my mom with her afro. And I think it was her favorite also, because when I look at pictures of her with her afro, there's always a certain kind of like smile. My mother wasn't a sassy person, but every now and then you could see that personality come out. We were not in magazines and advertisements. We saw us during Soul Train on Saturday, and what was trending was assimilation. We had to be like everybody else. The styles that were trending were styles that white people wore, and we did our interpretation of them. I think that started to happen in the 90s when we started to own the conversation about our hair. But when I was growing up, that wasn't something that we saw for us. When I started to make products, just saying, why did you make natural hair care products? That wasn't even a sentence that you would put together, because there wasn't a distinction between natural products and beauty products. They were just beauty products. The idea of natural ingredients in products wasn't even something that you looked for or talked about. What I wanted to do was make things for myself that would help me take care of my skin, help me take care of my hair. And in order to do that, I had to make it in my home. And it just so happened that I did it well. I liked it. I benefited from it. My family benefited from it. Our hair looked great, our skin looked great, and then I got to share that with other people. At the same time that there was this new natural hair movement that was going on in Brooklyn in the 90s. When I started to sell my body creams and things like that, women were coming up to me and asking me for products for their hair. So I began to research essential oils and herbs that I could formulate into things for hair. And I began to discover that I could manipulate my curls in different ways. I could wear my hair in different ways, because up until that point, it was almost like I looked in the mirror in the morning like, what we doing? You gonna be good today? You gonna be frizzy? You gonna be defined? What we doing? Because I didn't know. And so making these things and experimenting for myself and then experimenting for my clients taught me this is missing for us. No one thought about our hair when they developed hair products. Let's not let that happen again. If you ask, could I go into a store and purchase something that was equivalent to what I was making, the answer is no. So people began to chronicle and share their journeys of, what do I do about my hair? I'm not with my stylist. Oh, well, I braided mine and I decided to transition. And then you start hearing that term, people transitioning. Now it's able to blow up in a way that no one predicted. And all of a sudden, companies that were selling relaxers are like, hello, where's my customers? Because there were alternatives, there were different things to do. We offered options. We offered choice. Now you choose braids, you choose a weave, you choose a wig, you choose a wash and go, you choose to cut it all off. And that's what I always wanted people to have, choices. When I realized that my brand was having an impact on people's lives was around 2006. We had launched in Sephora, and I would do events in the store, and women would come up to me and let me know that they wanted to thank me for their hair. I remember getting tissues and pulling them off to the side because, you know, they were having a moment and feeling like, why are they thanking you? I didn't do it, you did it. You think to yourself, that you're running a business, you have employees, you're making products, you're trying to be profitable, you know, like all the things that you think about with a company. But for this particular consumer, the topic is so much broader and so much deeper, and it was tied to her self-worth, and it was tied to what she thought she was supposed to do because that's what her mom taught her, and like so many other things. And then as you see people let those things go, and the freedom that they have, like when you run into that person who said never in a million years would they have locks, and they're rocking sister locks, and they dyed them red with some pink tips, you know, you know? So now, I don't feel personally responsible, like, because of me, all of this is happening, but I know that I was a big part of that movement just in providing choice and option and visibility. And I am so grateful for that because it's so powerful to be able to witness it. When the Museum of African American History and Culture opened, I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see a picture of a jar of healthy hair butter, a product that I used to make. But the jar is in a case and there's a sign and there's all, and it's like, we didn't shoot this, what is this? And I look at the person who posted it. It was someone who used to work for me, and the location under her name said Smithsonian. And then the caption said, that moment when you realize that you were a part of history. And I was like, I can't be in the museum. Am I really in the museum? Because no one came to us to say, hey, can we do this? The plaque said, Lisa Price, the founder of Carol's Daughter, pioneer in natural hair care. And that's when I allowed myself to call myself that, because the museum said so. And for me, it's like the universe making me recognize my importance and my role, because there was nothing that I did on a PR level, a marketing level, a donation level. Like, I did nothing to make that happen. So that's when I said, okay, all right, that's who you are, just own it. just own it, that's who you are.